Hi, this is Larry with Man Cave Mayhem. What you're about to watch is a solar panel and charge controller installation video, which we done about a year ago, and Wes and I were really shoddy on the camera work, to say the least. So bear with us on that. Hopefully you get some good information out of it. Enjoy.
I've got a Sunseeker Forest River RV with a Chevy chassis, and what I did in order to install the solar panels, I ran the wire all the way down the refrigerator vent, and you can see the wires are coming right down. It was just a perfect position. You can see the wires, we drilled a hole right into the bottom and was able to fish the wires right down into the refrigerator, which then leads to a nice vent.
It's not into the refrigerator, by the way, you idiot.
I said the refrigerator vent.
Okay, so it's going down underneath the refrigerator, is that correct?
That's correct.
Wes? Okay.
So you notice the vent was right here. I pulled the access cover off. You can see the wires are coming out. And these wires will be, if you look down here, let me see if I can get a light in here. You see the solar controller here. And I'm going to mount it right about there. You'll get a nice airflow.
It's going to be on a board, correct?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Just so we get it nice and firm in there.
And then how's the remote going to run?
The remote, I'm gonna then run some wires right over to this wall here. And here's the cool part. I have I got a perfect spot, so this way I can run my remote right here against this wall.
Or you can do it up higher even.
Right.
However you want to do it.
Just so that I can come into the coach and be able to see how my charging's going on. So that's what we're doing so far, and I'll show you where the battery compartment is. So from the vent, then I have to run the wires right to my battery compartment so that I can get the batteries all charged up. So I'm pretty excited. If you look up here at the top of the motorhome, here's the heart of the charging system. This is the panel, so you notice it's a real flexible panel. I just have it laid here before we're getting ready to stick it down. And you can see here, this is the refrigerator cover in which I was able to run the wires right down into that airspace and right down to where you saw where it was drilled. So it's a perfect way of installing the solar panel. Made it real clean, easy, no really cutting or drilling or damaging.
There's going to be probably a grommet or we're going to do something to protect that wiring, correct?
Right.
On the screen.
If you look at my roofing, notice that there's a lot of black dots on the white roof. So I'm getting ready to put a roof coating on there just to protect it so we don't have any issues with water. Okay, I'm just getting ready to adhere this solar panel to the roof. I can just get this backing. Okay, I'm getting ready to stick it down. You notice I got the backing off. I want to do it in little sections here so I can get a nice flat adhesion. There we go. That stuff is sticky. I think once the sun hits that thing, that's going to be welded into that surface there. I was putting the finishing touches on the solar panel, and Larry here is just making sure everything is flattened down. And if you go ahead and try to lift up one of the edges.
It's stuck down. That stuff isn't going anywhere. There's no way.
Now what were you saying? It's
I think it was rated at 200 miles an hour. I don't remember, but it had a pretty good wind rating. We'll probably stick a little die-core on the front edges maybe and hit a few spots on the edges.
Just so that there's no chance of wind getting under there. So there's the placement. It took all of maybe 5-10 minutes to put that entire strip down. A very simple process. No holes to drill, no nails to put into the roof, so no leak.
The only other thing we'll probably do is secure the wires and hold those down with maybe a couple clips, right? Or die core maybe?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, it looks like we're getting her zipped up here. Wes is actually putting some die core down on on the solar leads going back to the vent. You can see we screwed down some connectors. You're going to be sitting in that, and so he's just sealing that up with Dicor right now, and that's not going to go anywhere. It'll make for a nice clean install, depending on how you're going to do it. This is kind of what we figured will work out well, be weatherproof, and shouldn't have any problems with wind. Wes is now making measurements for the base that he's going to mount his charge controller on. We've ran the wires. I'll show you. We had to pull this molding off the side, and we drilled a hole there, which we'll seal with sealant. And the wires, you can see, for the charge control coming from the solar panel are ran up. Actually, that's coming from the battery. That's going to be coming from the charge controller to the battery, and then these are going to be the solar wires that we showed you before. We'll walk out to where the battery compartment is, and you can see we've got both wires marked. We got positive and negative marked, and we're going to leave them at that for now, and we'll get back. Okay, again, this is another picture of the area underneath his refrigerator that he'll be mounting his charge controller. So you just kind of have to get creative and look for spots where it's going to be convenient to mount these controllers, and you want them obviously as close to everything as possible so you don't lose any power through the wiring. But this is going to be a really nice spot. He's cutting that piece of wood, and it'll slide right in there, and he'll be able to secure the charge controller or anything else that's related to that down there. And then with his remote, which will be on this side, if you can see that, he'll be able to access all the information that he needs. So here's the board that Wes cut for that, and that's going to go right there. That'll be right there where he's going to mount his charge controller. Should be real nice, clean application. So we'll keep you posted. Okay, we've opted to mount the charge controller to the panel first before we put the panel in. Now he's going to screw this also to the floor through the linoleum, because that's the way he rolls. So don't be surprised if he can't pick this up when he's done, because he's kind of stupid that way. I don't like to be rude or anything, but that's just kind of how he is. So, did you level that out, or is it looks a little crooked to me? I'm just kidding.
Oh no, that's right on. You put a level on that thing.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's the charge controller mounted. We don't have the wires all ran really to where we want them routed or anything, but that kind of gives you an idea what it looks like mounted in there. And like I said, get creative with what you want to do, and if you look around in your coach, you can find areas that aren't being used. Use them for things like this. Okay, so the preliminary results are in. We're in very low light, as you can see.
The sun is down.
Sun is going down, and we're still getting some voltage here. Looks like it's 19.7. You can't see it very well, but it's fluctuating. But we haven't got it all hooked up yet. I mean, we've got it hooked up, but we haven't got it all set where we want it. But this is just to give you an idea what that panel can do. And it's pretty impressive. I hope you enjoyed our video. Again, this is Larry with Man Cave Mayhem, signing off. I'm just a man in a cave causing mayhem. Peace out.